Okay. Audio check is good. Music is good. Pin, the whole planet. It's good. Alright. Another month. Okay, what's this? Nothing too exciting. Okay. One of these days I'll go back to working on the language. One of these days. But the question is what to work on today. That is a question. Nice. Nice spam. Wait, I have an idea. Maybe I just work on this. Let's see if the restart goes back to here. Good. Really? Really? How big are you? It's not that big. Oh, I see. Big UI entity. Hover entities while picking. If not visible or hidden, should be fine, but it's not. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Is this the end game? Game end dialogue, yes. That's what it is. Supreme. It's cracking. How's the game? Continue button. I don't have a concept of a disable button. Am I using namespaces? Kinda. I use one namespace. That's about it. I use one namespace for the whole project. It's more than you need as a solo dev. I primarily see namespaces as a way to separate my code from everything else I'm using. Using it any more granularly doesn't seem to help. So I just use one namespace for the whole planet. In college, I used to get fancy with different namespaces, but not anymore. All projects? No, I guess. No, usually a unique one per project, but it just really kind of depends what kind of name go for. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Plus, dude, for me, projects takes years and years, so it doesn't particularly matter. And they're pretty easy to rename if need be. Right, boom. We're pretty easy. If I just yoink it, it's not. I'd rather have a tilt tip on hover that it says not available in a demo or something. And what if, let's see, stick it in here. Hover note. What's up, KL? It's cracking. Things are good. Things are good. I'm gonna do one minor change and then update the playtest. Let's see, top left. Maybe here. Wow. Really? Why? It's kind of wild. Okay. Let's see what I want. Draw corner seems good. Well, this one doesn't need that. This needs a note. Why not? Hanging around windows. Okay. What's going on here? And is this misspelling? Hmm. The hell? Hey, Liz. It's cracking. Welcome back. Welcome back. I don't feel like fixing this right now, so I'm just gonna disable it with a hover. Hover node is fine. I'm just gonna rip that thing out. Okay. Probably should still get a component though. Right. Struct UI tag. On hover. Note. Hover node. I think it's O. Yeah. Okay. Both of those streamers who use Vulkan. Well, for me, Vulkan is mostly accidental. It was supposed to be DX12. Supposed to be. But I just didn't have the skills for it. Yeah. I want to overlay this a little bit. Maybe. Like here, here. Something like this. And then I can just do this. DXL more complicated. Vulkan, well, for me, it was when I started. This was like 3 years back. And I got stuck in a whole bunch of things, DX12. And I couldn't figure it out or find any good samples for it. So yeah, I think starting out, DX12 is harder. Because Vulkan has a lot of samples. To be fair, that was pre-AI. Now I could probably do it just fine. Probably could do it fine now. With chatting AI a lot, but back then, not really. Hoverball. Externalization? No, not really. DX12 is completely brand new. There's no problem there. It's on par Vulkan. Has some, in some way, DX12 was slightly higher level than Vulkan. But it's mostly on par when it comes to features. Okay, this visible. Yeah, okay. Simulate dying. Boom. That easy. Takes a bit of debugging tools. I'm not sure about that. From a little bit I've read, Vulkan validation layer is what makes a difference. I think that one might be more powerful than the X12 because it can turn on certain parts of validation layers, which makes them usable even at on the game. But I'm not sure. You would think the X12 will be better because it's all handled by one company, but whatever. It's a decent quick start. All right, so in the actual playtest, we'll be going like this. Then if you die, not available demo. Almost makes me want to have a tooltip here as well. Okay. Okay. Except this needs to be a proper net available. Is it in the demo? It might be. Am I going to continue developing games the rest of my life? I don't see why not. I've been planning to work on this game for over a decade. So, pretty much, why not? Gotta wonder. Let's see if this is any good. It's just simplified Chinese. Yeah, it's not that satisfying. I guess it's good enough to have this long. Why not? Why not? Oh, I just remembered. Pseudo localization. Oh. That's what I need to do. I need to do pseudo localization. That would be smart. That would be smart. Just curious because the developer took a break for a year to develop a game. I'm not sure what you mean. AI has shifted the landscape of game development. Yeah. Well, the thing is, AI helps the most experienced engineers. Like, if you're really good at engineering already, AI is like a significant booster. If you're a beginner, it'll help you a little, but not a whole lot. Still better than nothing by far, but yeah. Bum bum bum. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's so annoying. I might have to actually make it a proper component out of this. Colton, what's cracking? I think you rated me before, man. I remember. I seem to remember the name. Seem to remember the name. Okay, that looks good. Yep, things are good. Just started streaming today. Well, not the first stream, but start today. Yeah.
Oops, so sorry.
Things are good, man. Just coding up, testing things, watching the important jiggle. Let's mute this crap. Playtesting, doing another small update to the playtest in the Jiffy. That's hot. I'm gooey. Actually, you know what? Let's playtest the way you would in the playtest from the very beginning. Also, now I have a leaderboard. I haven't shown the name, but actually shows the outfit, the characters of somebody else who played on Steam. I have some ideas what to do with that, such as running text on here, but whatever. What I should really be doing is working on sounds, to be honest. I've just been so uninspired working on sound so far. Am I using Raylib? No, I'm not. I've never used Raylib. I've installed it once out of curiosity and looked at the demos on the website. No, but I'm not using OpenGL either. This is just pure raw C Vulkan API. And I'm using C++. But no, just mainly Vulkan. None of that stuff. Yeah. Honestly, it's not that scary. If you work in a full-time 3-4 months of Vulkan, you'll be completely fine. Hold on, I need to level up. If it's been a while since you've seen the game, what recent additions I've made is now you have this ambient machines, kind of like inserters from Factoria. They just kind of do the work around. We're also healing stations and bots now. I think do it, stay, chill. Also, one of the recent reworks since the last playtest build is this chain lightning actually targets robots to the maximum degree possible. To mainly focus on graphics of the engine. I mean, I don't really have a thing as like a separate engine, it's just a game code. And I work on graphics when I'm feeling inspired to work on something, because improving graphics is a lot of work. You've been using Raylib for project? Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you're starting out or you don't have a lot of experience, for sure, Raylib is completely awesome. Whereas in my case, I have like, I don't know, 20 freaking years of experience of C++ in general. Maybe half of that is in game dev directly, like a commercial work. So for me, it's not as big of a deal. Is my engine deferred plus hybrid or forward plus some deferred? Honestly, I'm mostly noob when it comes to rendering, so I always forget what exactly it means. I don't remember. To keep it short, I compute the value of the pixel and lighting in one pass. I don't do like partial light applications afterwards so far, but who knows? Who knows? For example, if you look at the inside for this game, you'll see the screen of this scene being built like in one pass, and then I have an additional pass of some. But even that kind of depends. Like, dude, I have 2 renderers. It's like this is the ray trace render, which is a bit different because this one does compute the lighting and pixels of everything right away, whereas the other one kind of close but not quite. Not sure. Didn't Raylib add more than just OpenGL? I mean, but anyway, OpenGL is completely fine, dude. You can build an insane amount of OpenGL. The only issue is maybe like future Mac support, but who cares about Macs? They don't spend money on video games anyway. It's kind of like Linux, guys. Linux is for broke boys. You don't want to be making games for broke boys. Alright, give me a charge. Oh yes. Okay. Or should I go back to my usual? Mr. Laser. But yeah, don't worry about OpenGL, dude. It's going to be fine for a long, long time, especially Windows. Ain't no problem. Dude, that guy had a big ass shield. And this little freak was healing him. Oh yeah, market. I forgot about market. You deal your dev on Mac? Well, I got a yellow this early? Jesus. Ooh, laser gains piercing. That's a lucky one. That is lucky. Holy crap. I'm gonna take this. Yeah, there's a game dev who does everything on Mac and ports to Windows in the last like month or two. Oh yeah. Laser piercing, that's life. Oh yeah. Unstoppable. Use both Windows and Linux, yeah. I mean, this machine is actually can dual boot into Linux just fine. I have Gentoo Linux on it, but I hate the tooling on Linux. It's the primary reason. If it wasn't for the horrific debugging, if I had Visual Studio on Linux, I might consider spending more time on Linux. Ooh, no, hold on. I don't have a respawn. This is not a hardcore game from now on. The bit respawn has been disabled until full-time version. You know, demo version is going to be a hardcore game for a while. Take care, man. Thanks for rating, stopping by, man. Make sure I have a followed. Mission accomplished. So options. Could go to Blender, create a new robot. Do some modeling, rigging for a while. I could work on font decal for the world, which would be kind of cool. Cool. Because this way I could do almost like tutorial tips on the ground that you can ignore if need be. Should be kind of cool. Oh yeah. I'm piercing stuff. I wonder if laser piercing should just have longer range. Like double the range and be like add 50% to that thing. To really make it piercing. That's a good question. Alright, buff that health. Don't want to be dying here. Ooh, no, not you, buddy. You jumpy boy. Okay. Let's see, how hard would it be to create a sign distance field fonts being applied to the ground as a decal? Ooh, that thing's a little jumpy. Dude, that is not good. Okay. On the font. Oh, interesting. The preview doesn't do coloring. Interesting. Okay. So deemed damage 126 a second. Okay. Hmm. You know what? I'm going to do one tiny change and update the playtest after that. I want to limit how many energy orbs can be at one time. It's a bit too much. Too much. Turned off respawn and then demo playtest. Right. Energy pickups. What? Oh, I already have that. So why is it? It's a ring buffer. Interesting. But who adds them? Nobody? And nobody be adding them. Okay. Okay. Similar. This is better than using an engine. It's definitely more fun. But better depends on your goal, on your standards, and on your skills. Can better in C++ every day. Hell yeah. It doesn't take much. Especially if you do it a lot every day. The more you use it every day, the faster you'll get there. Progressively faster. Actually, maybe I don't need to care about this. Maybe just need to do the ghetto API I have here. Is there like a first or something? A pub first? Okay, okay. Try like that. Just 5 at any one time. Better start boosted. Travis does use C in Vulkan. That's right. It does. I was never much into C. It was just a bit too restricting. Too restrictful. If you have the proper control, C++ is nicer. Around the best developers, I suppose. I don't know how much you can learn from observing on stream, to be honest. I don't know. Alright, it's time to see if I can see more than 5 pickups. Dudes. Fine. Okay, what are we at? I'm already at 5. Actually. So let me see, where's the previous 5? There's 3 there, 4 and a 5. They're all there, okay. 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 Hey, I ate a charge right there. Okay, so there's 4 here. Yeah, okay. I still see all of them there, dude. What's going on? Unchanged. Yeah, because this now gets added. If not recorded. It's better than observing. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, to be honest with coding, I think watching lectures by Jennifer Blow is really good. Maybe not complete beginner, but that was definitely helpful. I think if it wasn't for Jonathan Blow, I probably would have been making my game in Unreal. I don't think I would have had the courage to start my own tech if it wasn't for Jonathan Blow. All right, let's think again. So let's see. If I was already recorded, there was nothing to do. Can just move on. But if not recorded, yeah. Oh, really? fine. We'll catch up soon. Fair. Fair enough. Oh, this should only do... Okay, let's do the test here. Advanced AI makes your job easy. So how do we use AI? Because I triggered devs, a whole bunch of devs yesterday on X by saying I use AI for a really trivial minor task. And people recommended me 20,000 different ways to do it. How would you use AI to do this? I'm not even sure this is a joke or not. Not sure if satire or not. The macro code is kind of nasty. Kind of nasty. Yeah, it's definitely good as something about. I think it's actually becoming my number one post on X at this point. Push. Not yet. This one is 106. It's 105. It's but take over 10 time. It's really good for like bouncing technical ideas on. It still helps a lot to know what you're doing and talking about. That way you can judge it. If not, you're just gonna have to learn and practice by seeing if those values work or not. Okay, what is this? Right, it would be empty, of course. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's actually a good point. The biggest value I've had of AI so far is explaining even simple things I just don't know too well about that. That is a good point. Let's give him my next X. Post on YouTube actually short as well. It's a good idea. This is good, man. This is good. That is an excellent idea. Customize UI. How did you customize it and which one? Which one are you using? I think my ChatGPT get customized through just from my responses the way I like the answers to. Over the 2 years of using it, I think. Do I have anything that can just expand it? I guess that's not a big deal. I can just see it here. Let's see, energy pickup. There's 3 of them. Okay. Pom 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 pom. Let's try to get more than 5. Opus. Okay. This is basically Claude, right? Last time I tried Claude, just wasn't as good as ChatGPT. And that wasn't that long ago. Maybe it's better for coding, maybe, but I don't use it for coding all that much. Dude, stop healing him. So annoying. Alright, where are they at? Energy 1, 2, 3, 4. Dude, healing. I think I'm seeing 5. So these guys drop. Dude, that Wow, that was amazing. It was getting both energy shield heal and life heal. Okay, I think it works. Limit is now here. Acts like a human. Yeah, for me, it was like when I was bouncing conceptual ideas and gameplay ideas at it, it wasn't as helpful as ChatGPT. Not sure. But whatever. Account removed. That should. Does this actually work? I think so, hopefully. Hopefully. Alright. Limiting energy pickups to 5 at any time. At any one time. Oh, yeah. When he has questions that are off topic, it doesn't explain. Not sure what you mean by that. But fine, it'll buff up a little bit. Look at these little drops now. Little spheres. The atoms do begin to spin around slowly a bit as well. Just to give some attention to them. Okay. The time is calm. Okay. Still have a playtest, right? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Wasn't that long ago then, okay. Wasn't that long ago. Push this in. Go here. It's time to produce a playtest build. A little bit of rush and everything to get the things quickly. Why would it not explain Vulkan? I don't understand. Do you mean like initially before you prompted to go into more depth on it? What you talking about, Luis? Okay, 30 seconds is here. A rare treat when I get to run the game in a fully optimized build. Not to self, we can also do something about them bunching up. But seems to be... Actually, could do one test. Let's do the test of taking too much damage. Whack. Whack. Now the wall's gonna be in the way. Okay, not available demo version. Boink. Okay. I'm good with that. Extra steam. Extra steam. Zip that thing hard. Yeah. What did I do for this build? Reworked light arc skill. Made it strict, that's funny. It's funny. I haven't given it such strict limitations. Look, actually here it's kind of cute. I can see the slice increase in size every time. It's kind of cute. Confirm them build, which I've done oh so many times. Okay. Bro. Yes, download that thing. Date notes for April 20th. Rework light arc skill to prefer bouncing between robots. Reworked heal energy pickup visuals. Disable continue option. Taking lethal damage. The only way to focus. Fair enough, I guess. But wait, see if you can ask the AI to, instead of just learning C++ modern, try to tell it to teach the C++ the way it's best used for a game that prioritizes build times, compile times, and performance, even debug builds, as opposed to just whatever latest one. But really the best way to use C++, which is something I'm working presentation for, is just don't use STL at all. If you don't use STL, that basically solves like 99 problems of C++. Yeah. Should be fine. Don't need to spell that. Make sure it still runs. Teaches you based on game project. Yeah, but even so, it doesn't matter which game project you use. C++, the ideal way is don't use STL. If you're going to use third-party libraries, prefer to use C libraries over C++. And don't use inheritance. Then definitely don't use virtual methods. If you just do that, that's going to be the biggest portion of making C++ nice. Stroop is way too much into heaviness. I kind of need to fix this problem. Who is he healing sometimes? But whatever. The build works, it's good enough. Back into my branch. Yeah, like, let's see. Yeah, like if your goals are reasonable build times, usable and fast debug builds, simple compile errors, and understandable code. Then you want to know which part of C++ to avoid. Which primarily you want to avoid is STL. Because this thing's gonna be nasty, slow build times and everything. C libraries when you can over C++. Over C++. Definitely avoid inheritance. Don't use nasty C++ modules. Maybe use hot reload or something to make your own. Or whatever. Make your own. That's basically it. Basically it. Bum, 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 bum. How to avoid STL? Simple, just don't use it and then you implement your own stuff. Like, it's not that difficult. Like, for example, I have, like, this is a ring buffer I have. Like, really, is this really that difficult? 200 lines. A very simple templated buffer, ring buffer. Oh, for an array. What do I have an array actually still? Do I have array? Oh, I do. Array is slightly more involved, but even here, like, we start at 200 lines. Goes to down to like 600. Mostly just a bunch of extra helpers. Initially, this class is even less complex. I just like to add fancy little function calls on him, but for most part, it's super brain dead. Except this part. This part was a help of AI, because holy crap, I was not even aware of that C++ option. Mr. Trap. Random data structures around you can find too. Yeah, but for the most part, data structure, you don't need anything fancy. Like a simple array will do wonders for a long ass time. Unless you're doing some really heavy data work, you really don't need to worry about that. Maybe in the past, but nowadays the most heavy part that you do will be graphics. And you're doing that in shaders anyway, so it doesn't really affect C++. So yeah. There was only one time so far I have to do some fancy structure. I think it was called string map. Yeah, because I don't use hashes or maps at all, but I wanted to do something that's like a statically sized quick lookup of strings. That was kind of, it's real enough. It's, I actually have a benchmark compares this string map, which will just basically have like pages, and each page says, contains a character, and then it tells you if this is the end of the string or the pointer to the next, well, the index of the next page to jump to get the next character in the string. So this way it just kind of relays all the names into that. Yes, for example, like next character, yeah. Actually, this beats unordered map in debug builds, but it's slow in release builds compared to unordered map. But not much, not by much. But it's kind of cute. Even this wasn't that much code, like the 150 lines wasn't much. Although this one's kind of involved. But it's pretty rare. Most of the time, just a simple raise is more than enough. Okay. Okay, now that the playtest has been updated, I need to decide what to work on next. I really do want to take care of having SDF fonts as a decal on the floor would be sweet. Because it'd be nice to finish the leaderboard feature. At the very least, I need an option to bring up UI. So it shows up, give like lists, name of your ranking, where you sit, max information. It seems kind of useful. Because right now, just kind of laying it like that, it kind of seems lame. It would be cool if it just like sit on the floor. But maybe for now, we'll just do option to press a button. Maybe if you just move close enough, it just brings up a new UI. And then I finish leaderboard that way. Yeah, seems easy enough and some brain dead work, so why not? Why not? Let's see. Intro you wrote. Yeah. Leaders root. Alright, just copy this thing. Paste dimensions, good. Grab this. Paste it here. Oh, it's wrong one. Oh, right, not it. I need equipment root. That. Okay. I'll take that. You know what? Why don't I duplicate and move to leaders root. Right. Right. The triggering on the X continues. It continues. What book? Book is for beginners, huh? But again, the thing about C++ is primarily knowing which part of C++ not to use. And even most game developers out in the field love extra heavy modern C++. And I hate them because it just destroys debug builds. And I refuse to sacrifice fast debug builds for my game. Absolutely refuse to. Hell to the no. Leaders root, fine. Leaderboards, root. No. This, I wanted to lower this a little bit. Actually, this will be a little bit involved. Hopefully not too crazy. Hopefully not too crazy. Something like standing here. That's going to be there. Do I have an exit button anywhere? Let's see, skills panel probably have an exit button. Or something kind of close to it. No. 21. Close button. Paste. Wait, that's not what I want. To see their character root, skills panel. Maybe this. Let's grab the button at least. Excuse me? Where'd the button be at? It didn't cover everything? Oh, it's missing UI image. And probably hover too. Yeah. Do I have close yet? Guess I'll use this for now. For now. Oh, do you want this? Alright, so what do I need? To keep things simple. Letters least. Put somewhere in the center. That seems fine to me. Give it some like this. Let's see, I think I have alignment tools already. Let's see, vertical alignment. Boink. Probably should have like 3 or 4 of these to start. Vertical element, good. The start just text is fine. Leader note. Okay. Let's do entry. Think we're working currently only leaderboard. Previously, I made a small change update to a playtest. But right now I'm going to finish up Leaderboard with some UI to it. You know what? I need to put image here. Let's kind of find to be full. Let's put in the center. Right. All right, redo this. Let's do this a couple of times. It's gonna be 1, 2. Really? Really? There you go. Start top, give some space, some tail spacing. Okay. Code node 1. Probably gonna do a maximum of maybe 4 nodes, maybe. Like top 3, then your place if you're not in top 3. Just do quick layouts. Right. What I actually want to do, what if I duplicate once, duplicate thrice? An empty space. And here, don't need anything really. Not even image. And then this. Got that. It's the word spacing rule. Something like this. To get started on. It's gonna be first rough pass. I don't feel like working too much time on this right now. I just need a few components on here, tag them out, and write some information in. And that should be fine to get started. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to do the whole UI closing just yet. Let's do first actual loading information in. Okay. UI. I actually like to use struct and class in my code, where struct is meant to be for data only types, whereas class has methods in them. That way I can see if it's struct a simple thing, if it's a class is something more involved. UI leader text node, leader text, leaderboard, entry text. Okay, this will need require recompile. First place, second place, third place, your place, Anything else? Not so far. This might be good enough. Here comes Kojan. Observe this insane Kojan. Kadoosh. Boom, I love you. Such an awesome intelligence. Nice and easy. Now it's time for a new music style. Go. Strictly speaking, should just be here because this one knows about it. Might as well. It's up to us. How's it going? Tree. See? It's time to take it out. Because I already have the data ready, it's written to the log, but now it shall be written here. Note 1. Right. Just to make sure. Okay. Okay. And now If this. I have to be careful here because this has potential to get broken. Potential to get broken. If a name has some weird character that I don't support. Let's see now. Where's my report at? What's up, L? It's cracking. Let's see. Where's report? Top places. Good. Streams on your feed? Hell yes. Fine, so at least I have a top places. Has. No, I can probably just do this, right? Yeah. First, if it's got it, then right. I didn't keep the name here. Where the hell do I keep the name? Where is the name kept? Here. Oh. Okay. Name. Button recorded, huh? Yeah, I should record this somewhere. You don't really see language like that. Looks like dark magic. Well, this is C++ on top of that, so it's not even C. So yeah. I don't really want to spam that every time. I'd rather just get the name and then just save it somewhere. Just save it somewhere. Crash description. Right, so I need to expand this to support the name. Okay. Oh, this also checks itself that way. All right, in that case. No, appreciate the wish list, man. That's the most important part. ATF8. Oh. Top names. Because you can get your own name. That part is easy. Okay. Top names. Okay. Her. What do I have a name? Name is there, right. $1,000, Jesus. Yeah. There should be at least shop for first one. This is supposed to be Steam Leaderboard code. That's right. Using a low-level C++ Steam API from Valve and connecting it to the game. Steam, yeah. I mean, I do use AI a lot, but it's more like a conceptual questions or reviewing my code. So it's mostly just bouncing ideas on. It's not really coding things. And I actually use AI a lot, but not so much for CodeGen. I think the most I use is a code, maybe shader stuff. Maybe. But then most of the time actually giving into that. Mr. Rudy, what's up? Learning Zig? Sure. Yeah, I know about Zig. Zig is fine. What's the best way to start learning a low-level language? Pick a project that's fun for you, like a small video game or whatever you care about. Yeah, discussing ideas is definitely great, for sure. For sure. Like if you don't know what project to use as a low-level language, start with like an old school text adventure. So you don't need to worry about 2D, 3D, just a bunch of printfs. Take the input, read, decide. And just look up old school text adventures. See what they did in the past. And using that, you can build up a pretty nice game. And that will teach you the language. Reading books and everything else doesn't make much of a difference. Alright. So why does this not get it? Yeah. Because programming is primarily it's a practical art. It's kind of like asking what's the best way to learn how to paint. Well, you need some theory, some instruction, but then you need to be painting a lot. If not most of the time. So it's the same thing in programming. Okay, so what's kind of going on here? And why am I not getting a name? Leader name. It did write into it. Oh. Oh. Alright, Mr. Pinful on the board. On the board. Okay, I'm gonna need let me see what I need. Something like, I'll give it a name, zone, like this. Oh, lazy ass translation, good enough. Leaderboard entry format. Slowly working on a wiki to make a game together, but we can get ideas together, so decided to make a wiki for it. I guess, although making games, I think it's better used to actually try to make something of one of your ideas without any graphics, and then see how it feels when you actually play it. Because I certainly had a bunch of ideas when I was starting to making this game. But then a bunch of them actually ended up changing the moment I actually got some of it working and then gave it a try. So just pick anything even close to it, just do some kind of super minimal implementation. Alright, it's gonna be here. And what I'm gonna want is Does it support Brain F? It does. It does. Let's find this thing here. I'm gonna need zone. Let's reload just in case it has access to it. Alright. I think it's still a language file. Turkish language. Hell yeah. Yeah, definitely appreciate it for sure. How many times a week do I stream? Maybe every other day or so. It kind of varies. I work in the game full time, but on specific days when I stream, it just kind of varies. All varies. But I have streamed a bunch in the past for sure. I think I've been streaming for close to 2 years. And in this time, I have a lot of live streams. A lot. I think maybe like 300 of them already in 2 years. So maybe an average every 2 days. Oh yeah, back then, a year ago looked a bit different. Quite a bit different just a year ago. Polish and Dutch. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, right now just have... Personally, I could do also Ukrainian and Russian, I think. Although, I'm pretty rusty at those languages now. But yeah, for sure. For sure. Because I can easily duplicate this and then I'll need to provide the same implementation for other languages. So yeah. And non-Chinese, not hieroglyphic languages are so much nicer and easier to use. Yep. You can catch me on Discord for future connections for localization. Although ideal, I wouldn't take that for free, but we'll see. I mean, proper localization is kind of expensive. We'll see. Probably these things start with some AI and then ask for a human to do a pass over it. That's probably the easiest thing. That way, hopefully, the effort will be that much, and so I can actually afford it. Don't really want to just get for free translation, but we'll see. Right, zone. Mr. Zone. Oh, this one... I didn't keep the thing, huh? And join the server. Hell yes. Boink. Boink. Maybe I wanted to do more than just names, because this is that one specifically that. So let's expand this. Personal. The leader. Max zone. Excellent. Maximum zone. Turkish translation. That's nice. I actually need to watch. Let me see. Google font. Let's see if the font I'm using supports. I'm pretty sure it does, but just to be sure, I think I'm using audio wide. Go. You know what? Let's bring it over dark mode. Language. Turkish. Oh, it's regular letters, dude. That's gonna be piece of cake. Yeah, it's already support all that. That's fine. It's nothing too insane. Like some languages. Yeah, anything Latin is fine. Okay. Chinese, that requires a whole bunch of effort. Okay. Leaders. Give it a name. Yep. Excellent. Dude, Chinese was such a pain in the ass. It's actually, at some point, I've added fancy font technology with signed distant fields. And then unfortunately I had to disable Chinese for a bit. I'll have to bring it back soon enough. Leader, just call it this. Chinese doesn't spoil the characters. Yeah. Yes, that's what I have. By default, I'll start with English and simplify Chinese. I don't think I will do any inputs because it's too much effort. But at least this way allows me to enumerate all the characters my game uses, and then generate that stuff on the fly. Well, I might have to write that into max zone. I might have to produce an actual textured build time instead, because generating all the Chinese characters takes like several seconds right now, which is far too much. Where's maximum zone at? Maximum zone score. This thing, right? Yeah. Boink. Random polish word generator. Yeah, what was the guess? Was a joke? Is that some really long variable name, or is it a polish word? And like PCWSGR, is it polish? Or is it Windows API? Hey, working already. Good. So let's try to simplify this logic just a tad. Indeed. I think I saw it on X not so long ago. Yeah. Let's just take this. Convert it in an integer. That should do. Boom, just like this. And that's me there. Ooh, we need a different color. Need a different color for this thing. And then U's gonna be interesting. Probably don't save it anywhere, do I? Because that's a different invocation. Scary. Well, this is after 2 years of full-time work. No side jobs. Just this all day long. So in Polish is Perseprazom. Huh. That's not even close to Russian or Ukrainian. GD script dev, yeah. Well, to be fair, I have like 20 years of C++ experience. Professional experience, at least. Plus all the time I spent in college working on some games and before. Anyway. So this is... Do I use the same logic? I guess I do. Huh. You're 20. Yeah. Yeah, when I was 20, I definitely could not have made it this much. When I was 20, I think I made like a simple C OpenGL game of two robots shooting each other. Sadly, I have not kept that game. That's funny. Yeah. The only thing I do have saved from my college time is so instead of getting the all A's in college, instead I worked on this game. They go 19 years ago video. Just a tank and you're just gonna shoot things. Even back then I was working on destructible physics. I think I was using a number of different libraries though, so this wasn't entirely from scratch. I was using a 3D engine, even a physics engine, I think. But still, it's kind of fun to work on all this in college. Pretty fun. Still same idea, like building up the world out of a little bit of nodes. That was alright. Now on C#. Nice. Yeah. A bunch of nothing. Yeah, that's like even because I went to college in the United States, but even so, I mostly ignored all the classes and worked on that game. Because everything else was meaningless. Dude, I think, wait a second. This is exactly the same entry. Right. Well, luckily for college, you don't really, I mean, for engineering, for coding, you don't need college. College is a piece of paper to get the job, but the actual skills you need to develop on your own anyway. Except there's some exceptions, really good American schools that actually teach gaming, but that's pretty rare. All right, so I need to know if this is actually a top score or not. Ooh, wait a second. It's time to ask this question for AI. It's time. How do I tell when the user leaderboard data is a local player? Yeah, all the times for sure. Networking, if you can get an internship, then it's for sure good. But yeah. Okay, local Steam ID, good. That's what I need. That is what I need. So get into here, fine. Local Steam, good. That's internal rank, right. Okay. This is the local player leaderboard data. Yeah, if you can say dedicated game programming SRD, then it's actually worth the time. Otherwise, it wasn't. I wasted like 5 years of freaking college to get a degree. But I needed it for other reasons, so whatever. Okay, so what I need is I need local information. Local player leader. board data. Because this code is actually fairly simple, just a lot of it, but it's actually all the same and simple stuff. Do this. Oh, what was this thing here? Yes. Alright, that was easy. Now, the same thing for here. Right. That's easy. Go. An actual question, hell yeah. How do you improve your understanding when you're reading? Because English isn't your first language. It's like reading duck sometimes. I mean, at that point, there was only one thing to do. I mean, to be fair, when I was doing the same thing, it was definitely a struggle at first. You just kind of have to learn English, man. I don't know. English is not my first language either. Or at least it wasn't. Alright, so that. Do you want to say rank here or not? Or just. Got too much for now. I just want to do some color to it. Indeed. Indeed. Alright, I'll be right back. All right. How does that do those lights and emission and stuff? I'm not gonna lie, a lot of that I have been using AI to help me understand how to do all this stuff. For sure. Actually, I guess this just works. Also, I actually have two renders. This is the pretty render. This is the ugly render. There's no reflections. Some of the stuff looks a bit off. But then that other one can run just about anywhere. Just about anywhere. By the way, this already saves the outfit, all the players. And the zone. Okay. So I just want to do color. So I need to add image. Good that you can do shaders. Yeah. Yeah, shaders probably more complex stuff. But what I do is I ask AI to help me to explain shaders to me very slowly and step by step of diagrams. And then it's pretty useful. So I have my own shaders here too. Probably the most involved shaders would be the ray trace shader. There's a bunch of magic in here. Maybe UI as well. But whatever. Claude, I'm not a fan of that AI. I prefer ChatGPT so far. Such as here, just remind me of the different APIs names. That I don't care about as much. Anyway, so this one works. I just need to... image. Okay, here. They use different AIs, models. No, I prefer AIs mostly as like a rubber duck to talk to. So I don't really do that now. For me, it's like most of the questions I have for my project is kind of high level stuff. Such as, for example, like what's the benefit of using particular Vulkan extension? So it's most like the more high level questions. And for that, I'm finding ChatGPT to give me a bit smarter answers. So it's more like an intellectual discussion with AI. Like, what's the benefit of this thing? Is it worth it for anything? Things like that. It's only time when I go into shader work that I will ask you for some stuff. Or like even like, here's another one. Wait, I thought I had a picture somewhere. Yeah, like I would paste some pictures. No, I guess not. Weird. Well, whatever. I guess I did some of that. This is some of fun gen in the game. Fun glyph. This is some behind scenes debugger for generating all the pretty fonts. Boink boink. No? Give me a laser. Thank you. Okay. Use Gemini. System design questions. I guess. I think I just find it too much to jump between too many AIs. Just one is enough. Because specifically I like ChatGPT. Honestly, the main feature is I can just press Alt Space and that quickly brings up the window and Alt Space again to hide it. That's the most useful thing. Everything else is kind of meh. Does this take me here? Good, good, okay. So colors. Counts. It's funny. Yeah, I've never done any of those multi-agent agentive work. I don't think he'll be able to handle complexity of this project. This game is already at 166,000 lines of code. You can see here at the bottom. This is a bit too much for AI to handle. I only use a $20 a month ChatGPT subscription. That's it. That is it. Okay, so I know how to color this one differently. Didn't mean his agent. It's funny. Each of the high-end models have their own quirks. Style of coding, self-explaining, yeah. Imagine trusting a fancy text complete to do a project. For small limited work, it's fine. If you can control it, if you're good enough, but yeah. The more you take from AI, the higher your skill needs to be to handle it. Yeah. That is funny. That's pretty funny. Wait. I could turn the lights on in the back. That's an oversight. Bam. Alright, color. I need to take color somewhere. Where should I shove it? I mean, what the hell is this? I mean, this one has some colors. I don't know. Do I want to have colors here too? No, I'll just hard code it for now. Let's hard code this. Config colors. Background. Local player color. Okay. What should I use for color? Let's see. Colors. What should it be? Oh, I don't want color per component. Probably not. I'll just add a new style. Local player leader note. $71. And the reload, yes. What was the motivation to start this project without a particular engine? Yeah, that came from, well, let me fix this. Backframe 2. Ew, that is a nasty color. Hold up. I actually tried to implement this project in many different ways before. I'm gonna have to use different colors for font too. Dude, I don't even know. Yeah, so I've done this project in the past before. Like here's me prototyping this project. Same. Like here's the same project I was implementing in the open source game engine. It's an engine that I worked for several years. Even wrote a book on this engine at one point. So it's basically the same type of game, exactly the same thing, just having to do items. Like break something open, get the chest item, whatever. Let me see. So something that's interesting, like a turret. I have the same thing in the game now, but even though a guy was working and all that, I didn't like the level of control I had over this game. And I didn't know much about graphics or animation at the low level. So it wasn't that fun. Felt too limiting. Then at some point I was working on Unreal Engine 5. Maybe like 3 months prototyping the game in Unreal Engine. It definitely looks pretty for sure, but I hated the process of Unreal. Couldn't stand plus random bugs. So annoying. Oh yeah, the GPU profile, I have that. I have that in my game. So for example, I have something called GPU timestamps. So this tells me in milliseconds how long each different portion of the game takes to render for the frame. Behold all the profiling tools I have. You're gonna be jealous. Extremely jealous. So this is the CPU side. It shows me which portion of a game takes up the most of time per frame. Sorted up. And then this is the GPU side. And it's broken down into different portions of my game. And this is a debug build, by the way. This is why I'm getting 200 frames right there. It's probably only like 250 or so right now. This is not even fully optimized. So this way, anytime something is too slow in my code, I will know exactly where it is. The line number, the file, and everything. That's right. Nothing runs away from me. And so if I, for example, go to the door and I open the door and I see a spike, I can kind of see where it's coming from and I'll be able to see the spike there. For example, here I can reset, I can sort by the max frame. And so it's probably before you start. Let me see what's gonna be the max. No. Nothing spiked this time. Whatever. This is a debug build, so it's not too exciting. Yeah. When you have tools like that, that's the only way to make fast game. You gotta measure it hard. Alright, so this class sucks. Like, it really sucks. This is more debuggers. Also some additional debuggers I have. Like, here's animation debugger. Select her. Can you do this popular game engines easily? Most game engines have that to 1 degree of hour already. It's just that this one's specifically made for my game and specific tools. Like this is animation debugger that lets me tells me if there's a bad emotion for the character, like it transitions into jumping of the way, you're gonna see red lines here, which probably not gonna show up right now. Oh, right there. What happened here? Let me see, it was going from knocked, transitioning into flying mode. And then it skipped flying to went directly into high heels on the idle. Huh. So this is when the frame happened, when there was a bad animation jump. Which usually wouldn't even notice it. But this tells me like, hey, if you're going from one motion to the other one. I mean, to be fair, it's actually... Hold on. This is 100% on the knocked and still 95% on the knocked. So it actually might be a valid case. I need to update the condition check. It was actually pretty fine. 5% is fine. Yeah. Should be good. Should be Gucci. Should be Gucci. I made this like a year ago at this point though. I think I was initially testing that with some spider dude. Maybe here. Yeah, I was being attacked with that guy. I think somewhere here I discovered some issues. Can't remember. But this is like a year and a half back. Big boss with triple lasers. I think it's the first time Robot is actually doing damage to the walls and stuff. I need to bring that guy back. He's kind of fun of triple laser. Anyway. What's going on in here? Just got reflections. So this color sucks. I need to pick a better color. Although maybe... No, I don't want this. I mean, actually... I'm gonna have this one be the same, but... Do I have border color? Border color index, I do. Right. Border color index. You're just waiting for your friends to finish something. Nah, man. If you're gonna wait for somebody else, it's not gonna happen. Just start making it. Just start making something. Like, you don't even need a story for many most games. Especially as a solo dev. Anyway, so let's see. This one's gonna need a border. Yeah, rounded corners. Right. Yeah, that's much better. And then here, let's copy this. But I was hoping you would highlight this too. But it didn't. Oh, because of this. I see. I see. Oh yeah, you have to be sent to the army. That sucks. That sucks. Luckily I was able to run away from that. I mean, hell, you can at least maybe take like a notebook and write some ideas while you're there. If it's possible. Better than nothing. Okay, so I need to know if it's a local player or not, which... Come on. He's a local player. Point. Right. Boom. You gotta pay to skip? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that sucks, man. That sucks for sure. Yeah. Okay. Would have to continuously adjust this. Let's test a different resolution. Okay. Might be okay. $15 times the price of minimum wage. Jesus Christ. It's a bunch. It's a bunch. Some countries just see you as a cog in the machine of no rights. Honestly, I don't even need this button. Maybe I'll just the moment you move away, it'll just disappear on its own. Yep. Life from Turkey, yeah, dude. It sucks, man. I think it's similar to South Korea, although I'm not sure if you can even pay it off. What techniques am I using for reflections? It's this ray traced render, so that way everything is easy. Ray tracing is extremely easy to reflect. Do I do it here? Where did I do it? Maybe in here? Yeah, just literally reflect a vector and then send another ray in here. That's it. Ray tracing, this is really simple. And without ray tracing, I don't have any reflections at all. Let's have two renders. DOS. Indeed. Screen space reflections, maybe that's something to ask AI, because I've never implemented screen space reflections before, but I imagine the problem is adding so much heaviness to that render. I'd rather keep it like super dumb and simple so it runs on anything. And then have a fancy stuff in this card. Does it work on all the cards? No, it's not going to work. But what I do with that, instead my game detects that older systems and they just launch with the tracing off. So you're going to get this. And you're also not going to get any pretty mirrors. So leaderboards. Yeah, I don't want to have these buttons to open close. Like, I'll probably keep it. But I'll keep it automatic. Can you force an error and show what happens? He breaks into debugger, pretty much. Although if it's a GPU crash, then it's not going to be too useful. Yep. Like, I have a monster machine, so I'm running at 200 frames a second, but this is a debug build, so it's not even optimized. And we're building from scratch, and then it's not that hard to make a fast game. Let me see. Okay, so I need a detection system. I guess I'll keep it. Which component is this? Podium. No? Podium. I don't have any kind of podium object. That kind of sucks. I guess all I have is the podium place character. Oh, so I'm gonna need Unreal Engine 5 moment. Indeed. Dude, I almost made this game in Unreal 5. Almost. I used to prototype exactly that on Unreal Engine 5. This was like 3 years back. They were just too heavy and slow, dude. I hated it. Hated it. Okay, I need a new component. Do I need a tag or component? We'll just a tag for now. Okay. Let's create a new tag. Tag. Leaderboard. Podium. Robot need anything else? Do I need to understand how my map works? What map? You're talking about the way I generate different pieces? Maybe. I mean, it depends on your game. LE. L. Take an L. Yeah, you definitely need a lot of graphics knowledge, but if you are a graphic engineer, you can do a lot of pretty stuff. I think the most impressive solo game with our game engine visually is the Tiny Glade, I think. Yeah. This game is, I think it was made in Rust by 2 people. This one was definitely made of custom graphics. So yeah. Where do I have player information? First things first. Mr. Podium. Podium. Tag it. Save it. Here's a little inside look. All my levels are made out of little chunks like this. And they just assemble together. Alright, you can go hide. Layer. I suppose I'll do it here. Blind depth match. Yeah. Half-Life 2 did have good lighting, didn't they? Alright. We'll call the necessary stuff in. Need game state and some context. Non-stop action game. To fry your brain. That's funny. That's funny. What's bugging me here? Ohio indeed. Okay. Maybe I put it under here, because this one already has where the player's at, right? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oh, I'm beginning to. Oh, okay. I need one more tag to actually hide the thing. UI tag Leaderboard root. Somewhere here. Reflect this thing. Yeah. I mean, it's only once a frame, so it's not the biggest deal. It's fine, I'll stick it here for now. Just need one more thing. The query for. Yes. Query leaderboard root. This is some entity component stuff. Not too exciting. Okay, all I want is the UI to show up when you're close to the board and hide otherwise. Okay. First things first is to tag. Tagged. Do I plan to make a playable demo for next Team Fest? No, it's too soon. Plus, I already have a playtest. If you want to play it, you can play it literally right now. Literally right now what I have. Just go and snag it. But next year is probably going to early. It's probably going to take way more effort to actually make the game fun enough and worth it to sell. Probably next year. Definitely not. Even if I have a demo ready for next year, it'll be too early for next fest. You want to go next fest when you're just about done with the game. Linux gamers, well, yeah, it runs on Linux just fine. Because Steam has Linux support, basically has a simulator. And I've had people run it on the Linux just fine. It kind of depends on your Linux drivers and everything, not on me really. But the game should be fine. It's playable already on Steam Deck, which is Linux. I was able to run on the Linux myself on my own box. So if your Linux is configured well enough, it will work. Audio position. Not a simulator. Translator. Oh, I guess. Maybe. It's been years since I've looked into the wine technology that they're using under the hood. So if you're doing translation, probably why it runs so well. Sure. Sure. Even better. In fact, I think I was getting better frame rate on Linux build on my machine than on Windows. Yeah, component pooling is just too much work, dude. And like maybe you make like 5%, 3% of your profit on Linux. So it's like, dude, ain't nobody got time on that. Distance to player. I should put configuration for distance on that. Show UI. I don't know. Let's try 30, 20. Big, maybe into the component. Go leaderboard. Squared. Wildland runs on Windows, binaries fast on Windows. Yeah. Not surprised. Not surprised. Okay. Boink. Boink. That's what I'm talking about. I probably want to be even closer, to be honest. To be honest. Like, what if I'm starting the game? Microslop, indeed. Yeah, sadly, I worked for Microsoft for 7 years. But yeah, very sad. Is this good enough? I think so. It seems good enough. The only thing is I want to show it when some extra conditions. Context world. Okay, yeah. Yep. Well, the thing is, if you actually want to have your Windows running really fast, and then you have to go with like Windows servers. That's a lot of stuff disabled. There's even like super tiny server platforms. That runs really fast. But on Linux itself, yeah. The Windows client is definitely slow. Let me see. Yeah. Dude, what the hell's... Do remember? Maybe I don't even need this. Oh, world state. I removed it from it. Tiny 11, yeah, I've heard that, but it's kind of risky to use that, to be honest. Yeah, Linux is nice if it wasn't for having really bad development environment for making games especially. It has really poor debugger and really poor editors. Okay, if we are in... I guess Battlezone or Home Base. Because home base will be allowed. To be fair, my solution to that is to have insanely powerful machine, so I don't particularly experience problems. But yeah. This. So I don't even need this anymore, huh? Fine. And the world. Right. So if you hear, it doesn't hide it. Reload. Boom. Good. It seems close enough to matter, it's fine. Then I guess this exit button doesn't particularly do much anymore. Actually, I don't want to show this thing to show up when there's a battle going on. So maybe game state is actually a good idea. Perhaps after all. And no active robots. Fedora. I've used that before. For sure I've used. Alright, so this is gonna work. But once I start battle mode, this should be ignored. Good. 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 Come on, take him out. It's that laser time. Yeah, I use Kitty as well if I have to. Oh, there's still a robot left. Where are you at? Where are you at? This guy. And now, it should be working fine, so I can just remove that exit button. It's no longer necessary. No longer necessary. I'm gonna leave it at that for now, it's fine. I could maybe do some on-hover information some later time, like describing the type of equipment you had. But the thing is, this doesn't actually show the attributes. So it doesn't help too much. But this is good enough. Certainly good enough. That really makes me want to draw the font on the floor as a decal. Will be sick. 2 a.m. Damn. Yeah, take care, man. Take care. GG's. I'm gonna keep working for a bit more. Hmm. Ricardo. Well, rendering, I'm using Vulkan. I started with DX12, but then eventually got tired of that and switched to Vulkan. Very early on. Very early on. You still have the old GitHub, I think. Oh, that, maybe? New I'm GUI, hell yes. Repositories. Yeah, this was the beginning of my game 3 years ago. This is when I was first learning DX12 for a while. And actually the structure of this everything here with CMake is pretty much remained the same. Not much of a change, is that this one barely has anything in it. Almost nothing here. But this is me collecting DX12 docs and then to Vulkan. Because I give up on DX12. But let's give you an example of how to set things up with CMake. Some basic project setup. It has a physics 5 cook 10. It should compile. Even has the FBX loader for basic models. And if you go back, really back in history, I think like very, very beginning. Yeah, this is like 6 years back. I was trying to figure out DX12 during my free time at work. Eventually giving up. So no, let's not do that. Leaderboard works, that's good. Oh, you know what would be sick? Oh, I just got a sick idea. When you hover your mouse here, the character here will raise the arm to indicate it's her. That would be sick. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Definitely doing it. Okay, I don't care about this. Go away. Alright, let's make it YouTube friendly so it doesn't look too risky. Let's see, bottom default, sure. Air default, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me see. What am I using there actually anyway? I'm not sure. Maybe idle high heels? Maybe. What are you using? Idle barefoot. Shouldn't be high heels. Just in case. Pum, 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 pum. Alright, animation time. A bull break from coding. Yeah. It's called podium. Hello? Sure. Sure. I want it to be a loop. No, I'll just do the wave. Yeah, let's do a wave. Don't need you. Let's wave this arm. Okay, is this the elbow problem? Oh, his shoulder freaking out again. It's too bad. Okay, maybe my rig doesn't support going up that high. Hmm. Need a reference. Some kind of wave. It's not bad. Yeah, that. I think my rig can handle that. I can do that. What do you want? Why? Well, maybe just too close to the shoulder. Hmm. Dude. It's a decent start. We don't need all this stuff. Okay. 30. Let's do 30. Dude. Excuse me? Oh, tell me I was a bunch of... I don't have minute risk controls, huh? Do I? I guess I don't. The best I can do is to the side. Ooh, maybe I can mimic that by shifting that. Too much of a grabbing. Okay. Now, obviously extra bones are misbehaving. Delete. Boom. Hey, Anaclito, what's up? Just finish it up. Some minor touches on the leaderboard. Actually, maybe I want this to be higher. I want to have a little bit of maybe just a little bit of a swing here. Good enough. Good enough. It's gonna take like 3 minutes to export anyway. I'll start that process. Because here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do on hover leaderboard. Okay, so I need on hover. On hover. I can do that. I can do that. Team integration. So we'll have it. Yes, good. Okay. Oh, it's gonna need to be. No, I need to do this part of the update. That's unfortunate. I have update, right? Yes. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna need some update here. I don't know if I care about this. Probably not. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be way easier. Okay, how we're doing? Export it. Good. Podium, hello. One more. I need something to podium place character. Animation. Okay. So there should be enough structure to get going. Highlighted leader. Not visible or hidden. Do nothing. Otherwise. True, but only if. Top info. Are you ready to see yourself? I don't think you're ready for this. Yes. Behold your name in your zone. Now, one last touch for today, leaderboards. When you hover this, there'll be some animation on it. On her. Played the new build. And nothing crashed yet? Disappointing. Disappointing. Oh no, I do see a crash. Good job. Oh no, Vulkan dude. Is this you doing some weird configuration thing? Freaking me out every time. But not seeing any Vulkan stuff. Has to be you at this point. Has to be you. And I need to know, what is it that you're doing to get this error? Right? Okay. Let's see if character place. Top. Do you have the motion animation? No, I guess I just whatever. I'm gonna have to edit here then. Yeah. Motion reference. Waving and idle. It was overdue anyway. An array. I mean, sure, I guess. I'm fine with that. Input motion rate. What else do you need? Motions. Right. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, idle, waving. This is reading. And writing is this. Can I just do this? Seems like I can. This feels like you can actually use a helper now. Maybe. It looks reasonable, Which means here I can finally do the check. Did I have a help already? Not sure. Current motion ID. I'm on idles. Back to idle motions. If not, gonna reduce the time to kill. Yeah, you just need to find better items. Or do you mean even with items, it's too slow? Let's see. Let's see, time to kill. It's possible that this... What the hell was that? No leaderboard UI here yet. Let me see. Yeah, I guess the first one... Oh yeah, you don't even have enough mana to completely finish that off, so it is definitely annoying. You have to like know that you have to hunt down for different parts. So there's a little bit of that for sure. Well, once you get an item... Actually, once you level up... Like, let me see. I have no items, but I do have level 2 light arc. Let's see how it feels now. You can't take him out now at once. So, Mr. Puppy, can you tell me if you have any items and what zone level you were struggling at? For example, here's an item, bottoms. Boost limits is not exactly helpful. But this red box could be good. I think it's just barely good. Maybe in the very, very beginning is the only problem. Because now you have a ton of damage now. Plus 15 boost. But it's true in the very beginning. Especially if you don't grab the energy box, it could be rough. You do kind of run out, and then you just kind of have to struggle a bit. So that part is true. And then that bug. This kind of depends what kind of map you end up having. Do you sort of the same map every time? Let me see. Let me see. Because they could buff the initial damage just a slight amount. It's interesting that it starts the same thing. Is that a feature or a bug? Let me see. Oh, this curvature and those two. Let's try it again. See you, Rudy. Take yours. Wow, it's like exactly the same map every time. Is it because I'm setting the random number? You have to be like really precise to get everything right away. Interesting. Interesting. Heal? Interesting. What's the difference? You know, I'm going to put things line by line so you can just go straight up. Because if you like start attacking a robot or something, and he gets healed, then yeah, you get... It is annoying when you run out of mana. Especially those bastards getting healed. For sure. But once you leveled... Boom, that was a lot of damage right away suddenly. Yeah, once you leveled up. It's interesting it's 4 damage. It starts with only 2 damage at the beginning. I could buff it by 1 damage. That shouldn't change much, just maybe make the beginning a little easier. Light arc. Let's start with 3 instead of 2. That may have been the intended version. May have been. I was not gonna compile. Right. If not already idle. And if it's empty... I'll bump the damage a tiny amount. Just the tiniest amount. Alright, 3 damage. Before I forget. Player... BHC. Let me see. Chest, health boost. Okay. That'll boost it up for first waves for sure. Take care, man. Take care. Until next time on Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, that makes the first wave a bit easier, but then you still have a growth on second one, so that's fine. These guys are gonna be rough. I wonder if I should probably animate this button when you have a level available. 5 damage. Just ran out of it. Yeah, I'll approve that. I'm good with that. Oh yeah. So the waving thing. Oh, this requires a skill. I'm gonna have to put it on the character itself instead. Yeah, probably, because it was actually just a spawner. And then find that. It's better to put that on her. Yeah, let's rename this whole thing into spawner. Out of a spawner, I can create a separate component just for the character, and then I can stick that stuff there. It's not an object. While loading what? Prefabs. 35? 123 podium. Excuse me? What's this? And why? That's how did it? Let's take a look again. Not sure what happened there. All we need is this. Right. Pop-em, pop-em. Okay, how about these apples? Are you missing a tag or what? It's here. Tag leaderboard podium. I will probably leave that. Yep. Okay. So new component. Very similar. Just need to move these over. Okay. Now you, sir. No, just this. Right. Or the character thing. Right. Good, good, good. That should at least compile. Now, sir, make sure. Oh, this point would be here, which is fine. Right. Wow. Yeah, idle high heels and waving. Let's podium hello. Yes. Good. Now. Okay. That's functional. Matches a place. If it doesn't... I think it's enabled. Matches a place. Oh, it's only if it's enabled. Right. Excuse me? Do I not have? I don't. Okay. The setup is there, now just a matter of better animation. Okay. It's progress. Do need a different hand position now. Be like this. But a head, it just... Oh. Just save. Okay, maybe that's too much. Keep it simple like that. Almost makes me want to make this a button, although it doesn't really do anything. Okay. But I think that's good enough for today. I shall resume this tomorrow. Until then, GG's. I can just do a cute little tiny raid on Twitch. I think of low level by any chance? Probably not. It's fine, I suppose. GG's everyone, until tomorrow.